Hello, so I think today is day 22, I don't know. But I did a different angle in the basement. We're still doing basement sessions, but did a different angle so maybe there's not so much glare. I have the dryer going because I can't handle the dripping sound from the sump pump. And today's topic happens to be different ways how ADHDers struggle with ADHD rage. And the reason why I'm saying this on in my 30 days of self-love is because learning how to control this will be monumental for me because it's a huge thing. But understanding that this is part of my neurodiversity or whatever, and I'm not a bad person because of this. It's just I struggle with this a lot. As a kid, I was the kid that, like, if you chewed too loud, I was upset. Like, I would freak out at the dinner table. And it's really weird because it would be only certain people. Maybe they hit certain pitches or something and I couldn't handle it. I'm still like that in some ways. It'll just, like, drives me through the roof. And my youngest loves those eating ASMRs, and I like, even in the next room I can't handle it. Like, I have to leave. I will freak out. And there's some things like I can handle and some things I can't. But where it's the biggest problem for me is in day-to-day life with my kids. And I hate that. I hate that so bad, and it makes me almost heartbroken because I love them. I love my kids, and I don't want them to feel like they can't be kids, right? But being kids, and I do feel like they have ADHD tendencies because a lot of times it runs in families. My middle daughter, I would say, has the emotional regulation problem like I do. And that's part of it too. So I don't think people realize that there's a whole group of things that goes into when somebody has ADHD and they get upset and they lash out. A lot of it is being overwhelmed. And that's where, like, those sounds that I can't handle. What's that called? Is it mesophobia? I can't remember, but there's a term for it, and I used to know it, like, but since I want to say it, I don't have it with me. I'll put it in the, I'll put it as a hashtag. There you go. So that is where there are certain noises that you can't handle or that just drive you insane. Being in a room with a lot of different conversations, because you hear everything, whether you want to or not, with a lot going on that's noisy or just a lot of commotion all around you, will put you into an ADHD rage. And when I'm saying rage, it's not like we turn into, like, Godzilla in Terrorize, which sometimes does happen, but it's more like you can't handle to be in that situation and you have to get out of it. So when you're a responsible parent, it's very hard, extremely hard to control freaking out and yelling. And it's a big deal. It's a huge deal for me because I don't want to be that parent. I grew up with a lot of yelling in my household, a lot. And I don't want my girls to deal with that. But at the same time, I also am realistic with my kids too. I don't want them to feel like everything's sunshine and rainbows, but at the same time, I don't want them to fear that they're not wanted just because I'm freaking out, or that I'm unhappy, or that me and my husband are having issues or something because I'm yelling all the time. He's the calm one. I don't want to say he's always been. I mean, we've both done some different things in our lives where we've grown from. But he generally, like, my kids will pick him over me because he's the nice guy. Notice I rolled my eyes there. And, like, I feel like it robs me of being fun, because I can be fun. And there's times that I have been. And it's really funny, like, I feel like the more with it I try to be, like, the more I try to control the situation, which, I don't know, maybe that's part of it, is not trying to be in control. But how do you do that when you're trying to run a household, you work full time, and you have 3 kids? and you have ADHD. I know there's people out there that do it, and they're amazing, and I just wish that I could figure out how to be that way. So for my self-love, I have recognized that this is an issue that, yes, I still need to work on, but it does not define me as a bad person. It's just I don't want to say disability, but it's just something that I have to learn how to work with. And it's hard. It's really hard. So like I was saying, a lot of times overstimulation. That's the reason why I have a really hard time going to the store. And then here's another instance where I feel bad for my kids. My middle daughter, I always say that she's bougie because she is. This girl better have like a really high paying job when she's an adult. And she better know how to budget because she likes things. She's a Libra, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but they like stuff. But, and they like the whole aesthetic. I hate that word. God, I hate that word. Anybody else who's like a Gen X millennial cusper, because that's me, who feels that way, like I hate the word aesthetic. I don't know. That's another thing. Words drive me crazy. So weird. But anyway, so my mother-in-law was offering, I don't think she really had a choice because my daughter can be highly convincing. She wanted to go to, where they sell like, facial stuff and makeup and things like that. She wanted to go do that. And my mother-in-law, she wanted me to come with them. So we would have to go to a mall and a very busy store. And I was just like not in the mode to do that. And then I felt bad about that because it's like, okay, I don't have to pay anything for this. My mother-in-law is going to pay for it. She just wants me to go because it would have been dark, because it's probably about a half hour, 45 minutes from our house. And she doesn't want to drive in the dark, which I don't mind driving. But at the same time, it's like it's so much going on in my head that the idea of being somewhere where all these people and all this stuff is going on, and I know it's going to be chaos, I can't handle that. And it's so weird. I'm thinking about, like, I know I've had ADHD my whole life because I remember as a kid being that way too. A lot of times at work nowadays, and when I was a kid doing homework, like I would often put headphones in, put them full blast, and then I was able to concentrate. The reason why that works, and I read this somewhere, and I figured that had something to do with that, but I wasn't sure. So I looked it up. And the reason why, like, listening to headphones and listening to things that you like allows you to concentrate, because, people are always like, well, how can you concentrate like that? It distracts your creative mind. It distracts that part of your mind. So your logical mind can focus on what you need to focus on. And it works really well with me. But then something happened, and, like, there's another story for April's unfinished stories and basement sessions that I need to do. Because something that happened kind of like made me not listen to music for a while. It's stupid, and it has something to do with me and my insecurities and the fact that me and my husband are so tied together due to music, and something that's not even like a big deal, but it made me like weird for a little while. Anyway, that's another story. But it ruined like that part of me for a little bit, and I'm mad about that. But anyways, dudes, if you have a music relationship with your wife or girlfriend, don't go doing that with somebody else. She'll take it the wrong way. Anyways, there's my blip about that. However, such a dork. Anyway, so the thing is, it's not just like being overwhelmed. It's sometimes if you have too many things going on in your mind and something doesn't go right, or somebody asks you a question, like like an opinion, or to figure something out, and you're in the middle of trying to figure something out, and you have 75 things going on at once, it's going to make you upset, and you're going to yell. So I have a kid. Hold on. Hopefully I don't have to edit that, because the girl, still 6 years old, runs around in her underwear. Anyways, so this is the problem. So I'm on this spiritual journey, right? I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to be a better person. And a lot of that is being in the now, being able to just like be in the flow. And sometimes I can do that. And unfortunately, which sucks, is I am so much better doing that. I don't want to say I'm better. because that's the wrong word, but sometimes I do that with less ADHD rage when I'm not on medication. Medication is like a double-edged sword. It's like, it'll help me like do things and I can think clearer and my head won't be in the clouds, because that happens a lot. It doesn't reduce the instances of where like if things are out of control and like I can't, you know, deal with that. But in other aspects, it's like when I'm not on medication, for some reason, like I can like hyper focus on something fun and not worry about stuff. In a way, like I don't know how to describe that. It sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's like people out there thinking that ADHD meds is fun. It's not for an ADHDer. And I actually watched Lana's live today, and that made me think about that too. But so with the rage, it's not like, you know, there's no intent to like hurt anybody, and you're not angry. It's just you are so overwhelmed with emotion, and emotional dysregulation is a huge thing with ADHD as well. So it's like something can trip you up and you don't know how to handle it. And I joke about this all the time. It's like I'm an Aries sun, so I'm supposed to be tough and whatever, but I'm a Pisces moon, so I'm a big wimp when it comes to like emotions and feeling hurt. But it's only certain people that'll do that to me. Like I could care less if like, you know, somebody I don't really interact with, whatever, if they have a crappy opinion of me, I'm okay with being like, well, whatever, that's your problem. But if it's somebody I really care about and they're upset with me, I will just like internalize it deeply. It's horrible. That's another ADHD thing. It comes with the emotional dysregulation. It's because you know, you fixate on, why is this person upset with me? It's what's that called? It's like rejection dysmorphia, and it's a real thing. And it's crazy, but knowing that I have ADHD and understanding that has allowed me to realize that, oh, that's what that is. I'm not crazy. Well, I am crazy, but that's okay. It's another type of crazy. But so I guess my point is, it's really hard when you're trying to do like the spiritual thing and be in the flow and be calm. And you know, when people talk about like manifestation or like you got to stay in the high vibe, it is so hard to high vibe when you have ADHD. I don't care what anybody says. It's very hard, because you can be you can be super positive and like the greatest person in the world, but when things are overwhelming and it's your job to control this chaos of your life and it's going on all around you, it's really hard. So I'm trying to figure that out. It's maybe if anybody has any ideas or ways to help with that. Exercise seems to help, and so doesn't like meditation. But also with ADHD, starting something. So I'll be like full force go do meditation every day for like freaking month and a half, and then something will trip me up and then I'll stop. Same thing with exercise. It's like, to start it is the process. So and then you make lists, right? We all us ADHDers have lists, and we have 10 pages of notebooks that we don't use, or we overuse, or we don't like how it looks when we write it out, so we redo it. So struggle's real. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I've gained a lot of growth, and I feel like I'm okay with a lot of things, but this is a big hump, because it knocks you down every time you're feeling good. You're like, oh, I'm doing good, da, da, da. And then your kids are insane because they all have ADHD too. Or at least act like it, and chaos is going on around you, and then you scream like the angriest Walmart woman you ever want to meet, and you realize, there's that hump I gotta go over. So all right, so that's my piece today. I was going to talk about spiritual fear, but I'll do that tomorrow maybe. We'll see.